Welcome back to MENSCHlife. I'm David Grossman, and I'm here with my friend Mark Covant. Mark is with Charity House Auctions. He also has a store, MC Diamond Corp. But we're here, really. The main thing we want to talk about is Judaism. You're a member of Chabad. You've been going there for a number of years, and we've been doing a little bit of studying offline here and there. So we thought we would share some of these ideas with our viewers.
Sounds like a good idea.
So we appreciate you coming out to do that. So we want to start at the beginning. Bereshit. Just kidding.
You're already over my head.
Okay. So what message do you have today? I mean, like, we have some Orthodox Jews is a small percentage of all Orthodox Jews. Are we missing the boat as Jews? Are we not studying enough, not going to shul enough? What are your thoughts?
Well, obviously, if you ask a person that's an observant person if you're missing the boat, they're going to say, yes, you're missing the boat.
Right.
Okay? But if you're asking a person that started off not an Orthodox person and learned and got into it, yeah, I still say we're missing the boat.
So,
Okay.
wait a second. So a non-Orthodox is missing the boat. But an Orthodox missing the boat too?
A person is never fully Orthodox to begin with, and everybody's still a person, and everybody's missing the boat.
Everybody's missing the boat.
There'll never be, well, there's so much to learn that the boat's bigger than we would ever have enough time to learn.
Right.
But the important aspect is learning, because there's a lot that we don't see. You know, the world's split into what is revealed to us and what isn't revealed to us, what is concealed to us.
Okay.
Right? And science proves that fact.
Right.
Okay, at one point of history, there's a certain amount that is understood. And then science opens up a world,
Yes.
and things that were concealed before become revealed.
Right, that's true.
That's exactly the same as Torah.
Okay, but the Torah is there, the books are there, but people are not spending a lot of time studying Torah. Why do you think that is?
People are busy,
Yeah.
number one. People are a little bit, including myself, lazy to take on things that they don't understand. And we believe in what we see. Now, you know, we will get, on an individual basis, we get interested in specific things, and that's what we will learn. Some people will want to become doctors. Some people want to become, I don't know, dentists. And they'll go and they'll learn because that's what they want. But until we want something, we don't learn.
So if a Jewish person is watching this, and I say Jewish person, we have non-Jewish viewers, but we're not trying to convert everyone to become Jewish, of course. But if a Jewish person is watching this and they say, yeah, you know what, I need to learn more. Of course, they can watch MENSCHlife and take what they're going to get from there. But if they want to learn more about, let's say, Orthodoxy or whatever, what should be the next step? Is it studying Torah? Is it going to shul on Shabbos? Is it taking classes, studying Talmud? Where's the best place to start in your view?
I think everybody has a different starting point, depending on what's important to them. In my case, I had a couple of issues happening in my life. One was a father that was ill, that was going for a second operation, a heart operation. And at the same time, I had a major robbery in my jewelry store, and the insurance company was not paying, and I was near the end of my rope there.
Right.
So my case was, you know what, that particular Saturday, it's time to pray. My dad was going in on Monday. I went to Or Sameach for the first time. I got in a little late into my store. I did what I had to do, and I was awakened on the Monday.
Or Sameach is the shul, is the synagogue?
Or Sameach is a organization just like Esha Torah or Chabad Lubavitch. It's an organization, call it an outreach organization. They used to work off of Clark and Bathurst at the Bite, okay, and they were downstairs. And that, I don't know why I found out about them first, but that's where I went.
Okay.
And
you went there on that Saturday.
On that Saturday. And on the Monday, which was the day of the operation, thank God my dad had a successful operation. which everybody can say, yeah, well, it could have happened. You didn't have to go to shul to pray for that, right? You had a 50-50 chance.
Right.
But what was the, quote, miracle that came up was I got a phone call from the insurance company, and after 2 months of saying they weren't going to pay, they said they're going to pay.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so that was on the Monday.
And how long ago was this?
This is going back about 20 some odd years ago.
20-some. So this is when it's time you started to become. Can we use the term orthodox? Or
No,
you don't
no,
like the term
no, I won't become
observant?
orthodox. No, I'd say not even observant. I'd just say interested in learning.
Okay.
Okay, because I think that really is the bottom line. Like, observance means you've already accepted the fact that you're going to do certain things that Judaism says to do. I don't think you can do that until you believe you should be doing that.
Okay. We have to take a short break, and this is good. I appreciate you sharing your personal journey with us, too, because I think that's important. We're going to be back in just a moment with Mark Covant from Charity House Auctions. Hang in there. Okay, welcome back to MENSCHlife. We are speaking with Mark Covant, and Mark is sharing his personal journey towards observancy, which started 20 years ago.
That's great.
But when I met you about 5 years ago, when I first met you, or maybe 6-7 years ago, you weren't sporting a hat and beard.
No, as a matter of fact, my passport, which expires in June, which you get every 5 years, has a bare-faced person without a kippah on it.
Right.
And I get second looks every time I travel. So it's been about 3 to 4 years that I've transformed a little more on the outside.
Right.
Before it was on the inside.
Right. So was it something sudden happened? Did you, that made you feel you wanted to, grow the beard and so on?
It's nothing sudden, and it's exactly like everybody else's journey in life. You get into something, you learn about it, and as you learn more and more and more, and you have more tools and more understanding, then you take on more technical issues.
Right.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. In what you're doing here, too, from the first time I saw you to now, you've got a lot more technology going for you, and you have to apply yourself to it.
Right.
You couldn't have done that before.
Right.
So wearing the beard, there are spiritual reasons to wear the beard. There's reasons for everything. Like, you're not looking at a person who's Orthodox and specifically seeing somebody that just wants to look different. He is wearing these things for specific reasons.
Well, I believe that, according to the Jewish laws, we're not supposed to shave directly on the skin with a razor. Technically, I think some people could use an electric razor, if I'm not mistaken. Is that true?
Yeah, it's the beard is not strictly applied across the board. There are allowances, because you'll see a lot of people that have their sideburns, and they wrap them around their ears. They let their sideburns grow. So there's a little bit of a different interpretation.
Are those people from Chabad or different?
No, the ones that are specifically already observant through Chabad will be wearing a beard.
Okay.
There are spiritual connections to every aspect of your body. Like everything, this is where Tanya comes in. This is this quote, instruction book from Lubavitch, that every single thing on this world is connected all the way up to the top. Everything.
Okay.
Okay, and the idea is when you can appreciate that, it makes you a little bit more humble,
right?
Because you realize that everything you do has an effect. You become more careful.
Did the founder of Chabad, is he the person who wrote this, Tanya? This is a book.
Yeah, the first Rebbe of Chabad, it was Rabbi Shneur Zalman, and it was in the 18th century. And he was a student of, I think it was at Summit Tzedek, which was a student of the Baal Shem Tov.
Okay.
Okay, I could be wrong on that, but that's what I believe. The Baal Shem Tov was the first Hasidic master to bring this concept of Hasidism to the layman.
Okay.
Okay, up until then, it was just a small group of very studious
Almost
rabbis,
like an elite
group,
Right.
and the Baal Shem Tov brought certain concepts to which are somewhat Kabbalistic, but brought down to earth. They're not out
For
you
the
know,
lay, for the lay,
for the
so the
layman.
layperson could understand.
So the layperson could understand.
Right.
Okay, and it was very successful. And there were different. He had different students, and each one of these students took a little bit of a different approach to Hasidism. So you have a bunch of different groups. The Lubavitch group was more of an intellectual rather than emotional understanding. So understand it here, and that helps you bring this understanding down to the heart.
Right. And that's part of the group that we know of today is the Chabad Lubavitch.
Chabad Lubavitch, that's correct.
That is huge globally.
It is now huge. It became very huge in our generation, or just before our generation. The Rebbe, Mendel Schneerson, which was the last Rebbe, he passed away in the mid-1990s. I mean, it was fair size by the time he was the Rebbe, but for some unbelievable reason, when he passed away, it just exploded. His teachings were very, very simple teachings, loving a fellow Jew, accepting others, seeing the best in everything, knowing your responsibilities, right? Very, very fundamental understanding,
Right.
but people could relate to them. And because of that way that they related, it just grew. Because obviously, for any organization to grow, you need money. Now, where's the money come from? It doesn't necessarily come from the Orthodox people. Okay,
Right.
they're just too small of a group. That money comes from the secular people, but the secular people that were motivated because of these teachings.
Okay.
Okay, and and
So
we're
they like
talking,
the teachings even though they aren't necessarily...
it's the teachings and the relationship. Because the one thing, you could try to teach somebody anything you want to teach them, but if you don't relate to them, if it doesn't come from your heart and you're not relating to them based on those teachings,
Right.
they're not going to accept it.
Right. So that's I would guess that's probably the secret sauce in why the movement has grown so much, because they're really focused on connecting to,
They're really
any Jew. Like these are when go somewhere. When I was in Israel, you're in a shopping mall, and all of a sudden somebody is there to put on tefillin. And here too in Toronto, on certain holidays and so on. This is
See, all groups do a great job. I was with Aisha Torah. I started off with Or Sameach, then I went to Aisha Torah, which is another fantastic group, and taught me. I give them credit for me starting my journey. And about 12 years ago, a Lubavitch came into our area, and Rabbi Mendel Kaplan and his wife, and at that time I think there were 2 children. And they sent out a flyer, a little photograph of the family, and they looked like they were kids. And I remember looking at them and saying, how could I ever have a rabbi that young? I could never
Right.
relate that young. But I'll tell you what brought me there. My son had a friend who he had just befriended, who had lost both parents in a car accident coming back from Florida, who also had been in the hospital for about a half a year, and mending took for him over a year. And needless to say, he was a very unhappy kid. Okay, he was fortunate he had a sister that could take care of him that was older,
right.
but he wasn't such a happy kid. And I was already into Yiddishkeit. I was going to Aisha Torah, and I would talk to him every once in a while, and I never got any response. I just got like a sour grapes response from him.
Right.
That's what had happened. One day, he comes into my house, and he's got a smile on, like the cat that ate the bird. Okay, like one of these smiles which something happened, okay,
Right.
that he was smiling about. So I asked him, I said, what? Like, I've never, what are you smiling about? So he says, I just put on tefillin.
Okay.
Okay, I said, what do you mean you just put on tefillin? This is making him smile. He says, yeah, we were over at the new shul. We were in the driveway. We were playing road hockey. And Rabbi came, and he talked to us, and he said, you know what, guys?
This is Rabbi Kaplan?
Rabbi Kaplan. He says, you know what, guys? He says, this is private property. He says, I got no problem with you playing road hockey here, but you got to put on tefillin first.
Beautiful. Good negotiator.
Every opportunity.
Yeah.
They have every opportunity. They want to try to, you know.
And the guy felt good.
The guy felt good. Right. Now, let's go, I don't know how many years. We're probably going about 8 years after that. He got married. He had, not that he's Orthodox, but he found himself a girl who also believed in getting married in an Orthodox way. And they went through the whole ceremony, and the guy is very happy with a beautiful family now. And you know what? The first time I ever saw him smile was when he put on tefillin.
And he goes regularly to synagogue?
No. See, that's not necessarily the end result. The end result is anything that opens you up, anything that helps you.
Right.
And then it's up to the individual.
Right.
But people should realize that we've got a wealth of amazing wisdom in our own backyard that knows life better than any psychiatrist or psychologist does, and you can get any question of your life answered.
Okay, so will you come back another time and we'll pick a topic, something that we can delve into a little bit further?
If you invite me, for sure.
Well, of course, why wouldn't I? You can bring the bagels?
Bagels, coffee, you name it.
Little bagels with schmear?
You're hitting my soft spot.
Okay, Mark Covant from Charity House Auctions. And also the jewelry store, MC Diamonds Corp.
Right.
MC Diamond?
MC Diamond Corp. We buy and sell, and we do fundraising auctions for charities.
Right. Okay. And it's available online too. People can find your website.
MCDiamondCorp.com is online. Charity House Auctions will be online in the near future.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much for
Thank
talking
you, David,
to us today.
Appreciate it.
That's all for today. Thanks very much for watching. I'm David Grossman. We'll see you next time.